So it's the middle of November and I've just got up and there is frost outside, and this is the current readings that we're getting at the moment. So we're getting between 200 and 300 watts and the panels are covered in frost. So we'll have a look at those in a minute. It's going to have my breakfast and do a couple of things, get a cup of tea and stuff, and we'll go outside. We're going to talk about my solar panels and how it's performing really, because I'm sure you're interested. So we'll just go up the ladder, and it's mid-morning, so it has defrosted a bit, but I did get up and notice it was producing about 200 watts. So you can see we've got our frost on our panels, and of course in some places it's now melted. Okay, so yeah, we're producing between 200 and 300 watts, and the house is using that, so it's still keeping up with the house. I'm just so impressed with it. Now, of course, in this situation, this time of year, you need to import some cheap energy, at a silly time in the morning, which of course you can set your inverter up to do. And that's what we've been doing. So we've been importing it at like 1 in the morning, filling up the battery to a certain percentage. And obviously here's the setup, and I do have a brush that I do go on and give it a quick, it's like a 5-minute clean. Okay, but we're going off what we're talking about here. So, but basically we're importing it, okay, at 9p or whatever it is, 7p, 9p, whatever it is now, p, and using it later on. And what's happening is, well, let's say we're producing 2 or 3 kilowatts. There's our friend up there. We're producing 2 or 3 kilowatts a day. Then it rolls on to the next day. Okay, so instead of putting 9.5 in the battery, I'm taking away the 2 or 3 kilowatts from the previous day. So that's how it's typically working at the moment. So it is working great. I might do another one perhaps in the depths of winter, perhaps with some snow on or something. I wouldn't expect it to work, but who knows. But that's where we're going from. So some people, got a helicopter coming over. Can you see it? Yeah. Thanks for ruining the video. What was I saying now? So yeah, so you're just load shifting it all the time, aren't you? Load shifting it from the morning, then you're producing it during the day. So if you already used some, it's then topping it up, but you're not necessarily producing it. Providing you're not sending any back to the grid, then it's all okay, because it'll just roll on to the next day. So imagine 10 kilowatts in a battery. We use 10 a day, so we could fully charge the battery, but we produce 3 kilowatts. So when we go to bed, we've got 30% or 3 kilowatts still in the battery. So the next day we're going to only bring in 7 kilowatts on the cheap rate. Now it's that cheap, I don't really, I'm not really that bothered. But of course, if you want to take it to the extreme, then that's the way to do it. Today I've set the battery to come on at 80. I think it was lower, it might have been 70 or 80% last night, because I looked at the weather and there's sunshine due, you see, as well as it being a Saturday. The wife does like to put the washing machine on, and of course it uses quite a bit of power, that. So that's pretty much the situation anyway. So hopefully it's been you can sort of get the gist of what goes on in November-ish here in the UK, in the Manchester area. So this is like the beginning of the frost, the very first frost that you've got to get off your car. So I'll go on to a screenshot in a second of what it's actually producing at this moment in time. Okay, So we can see what it's producing now. Okay, I can see it's actually melted as I've actually done the video, so it could be quite high now, but it was between 2 or 3 kilowatts this morning at 8 o'clock when I got out of bed, because I noticed it was frosty. I wanted to check. So right, let's check that out now. So of course I go in the house and get distracted. So we've got half an hour from when I just made that other video. So the sun has come out and pretty much you can see it's producing nearly 700 watts. So I'm guessing it's just melted it all away. So those people who are, you know, say, oh, it doesn't produce much power, all this sort of thing, it does all right. I'm telling you now, it does all right. So if you look at the chart here, you can see 651 watts is being produced at that snapshot of 2 minutes and 14 seconds ago, whatever. You can see what the house is using. The washing machine is on, that's why we're using that amount there. And also you can see that the battery down on the left hand side, that is sending the rest of the power over. So from 8 o'clock this morning, producing 200 to 300 watts, all frosted up. We're now powering ahead for the day. It's a Saturday, so there'll be probably lots of activity with the electric. There'll be PlayStations on and tablets charging and washing machines on and possibly a dishwasher. So providing we don't take anything off the grid and we produce some and even take it forward for tomorrow, then it's all happy days. Hopefully, you know, you've you sort of experienced what can happen in November, and the secret is to import it at the cheap rates. Well, it's not a secret, but that's what you do. 1 o'clock in the morning, and store it for later, and try not to send anything back. So, okay, cheers.